Socio-cultural aspects of family poultry production. This presentation shows the role of chickens in different socio-economic contexts and the influence of gender issues. In rural areas of southern Africa, only a few households own cattle. Some own small ruminants, but the majority of households own village chickens. Chickens are the most commonly raised domestic animal and the most numerous. In many cases, different members of the same household own chickens, including children. But while ownership of chickens is highly democratic, most village chickens are controlled by women. Raising village chickens under scavenge-based systems suits most local conditions and has significant advantages. Scavenge-based systems are efficient in terms of cost, labor inputs, and environmental impacts. Importantly, extensive scavenge systems result in minimal work for the household. They are the best choice for poultry production where lack of essential inputs prevents more intensive poultry production. Poultry plays a vital role for rural families. They provide high-quality protein and micronutrients from both eggs and meat. They provide small amounts of money, which can be used to pay school fees, provide health care, and purchase other food items. They contribute to pest control around the house. They produce manure that can be collected for the vegetable garden. They play a vital role in social events, ceremonies and rituals, and hosting visitors. And finally, they are important assets for women and children. Village chickens raised under scavenge-based systems are highly efficient. They require only low inputs in terms of labor and capital, and can be kept by people who are less fit due to age or disease. They scavenge for their feed and are agile and able to escape predators. They also go broody and have a very high benefit-cost ratio. Eggs have exceptional value. They play a key part in the nutrition of the whole family, but are especially important for children, pregnant women, breastfeeding women, and sick people. They have a high energy content, very high protein quality, and are rich in essential amino acids. They contain important vitamins and minerals, and are sterile and easy to store and cook. Understanding the seasonality of family poultry production is key to ensuring its role for livelihoods and as a buffer in times of food scarcity. Chicken flocks evolve according to the seasons of the year and are integrated into the farming system. During and after the rainy season and the harvest, the flock tends to increase. This is because of increased availability of feed in terms of leaves and insects, and of places to hide from predators. However, increases in flock size usually lower the market price for chickens. Prices drop even lower during outbreaks of Newcastle disease. Conversely, chicken prices rise dramatically during Christmas, New Year, and other festivals. A calendar of seasonal events is therefore an important tool for participatory epidemiology, and can help to identify the optimum moments for planned interventions. For example, identifying periods when Newcastle disease outbreaks commonly occur can help to plan vaccination campaigns. This will ensure that more birds survive and are available as food or produce during periods of food scarcity. Gender aspects also need to be taken into consideration when analysing poultry production. Women and men frequently have different roles in society, as well as different access and control over constraints and resources. They also benefit in different ways from these resources. Female farmers work longer hours, have fewer assets and lower incomes, and almost no access to credit and technical support. Women generally control chickens and ducks, while men are more likely to control pigs, goats, and cattle. For this reason, women often have specific interests and priorities, and are also affected in different ways by the problems that arise. The various members of the household, therefore, may have contradictory interests. In Asian and African rural households, men and women have specific roles with regard to livestock production. However, these roles vary according to the situation and region, as well as according to differences in socio-economic and ecological characteristics. Each situation, therefore, needs to be analysed carefully. In general, women take decisions about the use of chickens and control the money resulting from their sale, though they may have to consult their husbands. This makes chickens an important asset for many women. Children also receive birds to care for and learn how to look after them under the supervision of adults. However, the very poorest households may lack access to poultry. Because the roles of men and women differ, so do the roles they play in any intervention related to poultry. Women and children usually take care of the chickens, feeding them, ensuring that they are safe at night, and taking care of any that are sick or missing. Women also often sell chickens and eggs from home. Men are responsible for building houses or hatcheries for the chickens, and may sell the produce in local markets. The gender roles for poultry can vary within a country, as can be seen in the example of Mozambique. In the south of the country, men tend to have less control over chicken production due to the fact that they have more access to paid jobs. In addition, ecological conditions are more favourable for raising goats and cattle. In the north of the country, men tend to control chicken production, as there are fewer job opportunities. Moreover, the north is a tsetse fly-infected area which hinders the raising of cattle. In the majority of cases, veterinary staff and extension workers are men who prefer to deal with male farmers. Priority for extension is also given to well-off farmers. And in cases of livestock, the focus is usually on activities and livestock owned by men. Only limited interest is given to poultry, and extension personnel are not usually trained to assist women and poor farmers. In addition, most village leaders, responsible for decisions on matters concerning the whole community, are male. Most village poultry production involves women who possess the requisite knowledge and know-how. It is vital to work with them to analyse problems, discuss solutions, and implement appropriate activities. However, if a systematic gender-sensitive approach is not taken, women will most likely not be consulted, and their problems and priorities will not be taken into consideration. A number of other factors influence gender roles: access to resources such as land, cash crops, education and information, the types of activities men and women can pursue, and their responsibilities, mobility and social contact. These include socio-cultural attitudes, group and class-based obligations, religious and cultural beliefs and practices, institutional arrangements, and age, race and marital status. It is important to be knowledgeable about these factors, so as to adequately plan for the involvement of women, men and children in poultry development activities. Understanding local poultry production, including its gender aspects, is important for any intervention. The posters presented here were developed to create awareness about the need to inform veterinary services in cases of poultry mortality. The poster on the left shows a young boy in festive clothes speaking on a cell phone. A focus group of farmers indicated that this situation was highly unlikely to happen. Women producers explained that in cases of death, they themselves were more likely to make the discovery and contact the authorities. As a consequence, the poster was modified, and the new version can be seen on the right. Similarly, the language used in extension materials needs to be adapted to the intended target groups. As an example, women read the text presented here and underlined words they could not understand. It is clear that the full meaning of the message was not evident to those present. As rural women in developing countries often have little education or are unable to read and write, messages targeted to them need to be formulated in a language that is easy to understand. Visual communications also need to be pre-tested, as images might not transmit the intended message. The drawing on the left side with a chicken and a coconut shell was meant to show a bird with diarrhea. Farmers that were interviewed did not see a sick chicken with diarrhea, as the bird was standing up straight. The image on the right shows the typical posture of a sick bird with diarrhea. The bird is bent over, a position the farmers refer to as wearing a jacket. It is important to remember when we develop messages and interventions that all our activities need to be informed by the farmer's reality and by a thorough knowledge of local perceptions and practices.